Happy Wednesday, everybody. Sorry for the delay. Sometimes you're just having too much fun.
Or getting distracted by your kids by a new go-kart down the street when you walk in from bringing them home from summer camp. So that was all on me. My bad. And thank you for waiting. I appreciate it. How have you been, Mr. David McNiner?
Good. Camp has started. I heard this. I'm not sure if you've been there. I know you had some tickets to some days. Did you go today?
Yeah, I went today.
Okay.
And I sat with Raj from RSF 49ers, John Chapman, Rohan, Jesse Naylor, and my buddy who has season tickets, who takes me to a lot of the games, and who his code allowed me to get most of my training camp tickets that I got this year were on his code. So he came for the first time to training camp, and we had a nice time. It was a good time. It was like, I guess yesterday was a pretty active practice. Today was a little bit more mellow, according to the people who were there yesterday. But I will say that Brock Purdy didn't throw 4 interceptions and 5 passes today, so that's a good thing. I don't know if he threw any interceptions all day. There were a couple PBUs, but Purdy looked good. It was an interesting practice for sure. Cam Latu, still dropping in one-on-ones, dropping in team drills. I don't think I saw him make a catch.
There's Kenny. He's thinking you were in a ravine with a flat e-bike tire.
That could happen. I try as much as I can to ride with groups when I go ride, but because just like my streaming schedule is mostly Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Pacific, so is my riding schedule, it turns out, because evenings and weekends I'm on daddy duty. And so I don't get to ride much or stream much on evenings or weekends. And that's when most people ride e-bikes or mountain bikes or whatever, is evenings and weekends. So Friday I skipped camp to go for a ride because there's this group that does Friday rides, and they're like older guys, and they call themselves the OGs, mountain bike riders, and went out and rode with them. But I kind of broke my wheel, and so yes, that caused me to miss more camps than I thought I would, because I was selling some tickets to try and get money. Daddy needs a new rear wheel, essentially, for the e-bike. But no, that's not the case. I have not been riding this week because of that. My off-road wheels are out of commission, but I should have the parts for a new wheel together by tomorrow and over to a guy to lace it. So maybe by early next week, I should be back in commission again there. But camp was good. It was great to see everybody. I wish I had seen Trent Williams. I wish I had seen Brandon Ayuk. I guess Raj posted up a video of Ayuk talking to Lynch and somebody else, and a lot of people were.
And he's dressed in black, no 49er symbols whatsoever.
Yeah, black hoodie on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then people thought like that they came to an agreement in the comments. I guess Raj was telling me, I'm like, people read whatever they want to read and do it. I think the Niners have made him a take it or leave it offer at that $26 million. Not to say they can't come up a little, but like you said, you think 28.5, I think 27. But I think the deal will get done still. I'm still pretty confident.
Somewhere between 26 and 28. I think 28.5 is the ceiling the Niners are willing to offer.
Yeah, I would say.
And
if not lower.
It's almost like they should throw just a little bit of extra guaranteed money, because either way, salary cap implications, it's for the overall contract. So throw in a little extra guaranteed money, make him happy, sign him, or trade him. So today there was that, while he was in his black gear, he went up and, hugged Shanahan and then hugged Lynch, and then he walked off with Lynch. So that's where everyone's thinking, oh, the deal got done. That's where everyone starts thinking that stuff. And it might not be done, folks. It really might. He might be getting traded. And I'm honestly not as afraid as some folks are. Some folks think we're not a contender without Ayuk. I do not think that's the case. Look at our wide receiver room, right? We have Debo, we have Jennings, we have Ricky Purcell's not looking too bad out there, is he?
No, he looked pretty good today.
And then Jacob Cowan with the hamstring, he might be getting stashed and redshirted. We don't know what's going to happen there. But then you got Danny Gray. How's Danny Gray looking? Is he looking bad? Is he looking okay?
He had a big catch on Thursday when I was there last Thursday. I didn't see him do anything today. That doesn't mean he didn't. I could have missed it. But I didn't hear anybody talking about it either. Oh, also want to mention another guy who was there was Coach, the one who's on a lot with Larry Krueger and
Jesse Naylor.
Grant and Jesse. Yeah. His real name is Isaiah. I've learned that today and got to meet him. He's from I want to say the DC area. And he's out till Friday too. So he and Jesse will be there Friday as well. If anybody's thinking about going, you might get to see Coach or Jesse Naylor there before they head back east.
Yep. Well, so we got Daniel Berry Sports highlights in the comments. What's up, buddy? We got Jimmy. There's Jimmy over on Ted's channel. What's up, man?
What's up, Jimmy? And Daniel Berry, he's a Rams fan, but he's pretty cool. So check him out for sure.
Yep, he is. We got I think that's CarCast.
Well, yeah, because
the reason why
Spongy's right down below.
Because there's Spongy right there.
Either that or he's double dipping.
Could be.
Those keyboards. Speaking of which, I need to do that for our shows. I need to watch yours and mine here.
Oh. And then we got, one of the most faithful of the faithful. He's always with us 49ers. We got Jim Everett the Great. Did you see that?
Yeah, I didn't see what he said.
Something about that. I don't know. After him dancing in Breezy video.
Oh, that was me last year. Breezy and Chapman did a video last year, and I was in the video, mean mugging or doing some stupid thing. It was pretty lame. I was lame. The video was cool.
We got Steve-O. What's up, buddy? And that is true. Why would he be on the field if he was traded? Right?
No, he wouldn't.
He did walk off with Lynch.
I don't think he
was.
I don't think he was.
I'm not going to speculate either way until the news actually breaks. Let's be honest here, right? There's no point in it.
Yeah, I don't think it was either anything. So who knows?
But yeah, anyway, so Danny Gray, you got Ronnie Bell out there. We got
Ronnie Bell had a good day. Ronnie Bell had at least 3 big catches. I was kind of starting to write him off, and today maybe changed my mind a little bit. Ronnie Bell might have been the star of the show today, actually.
I'm telling you, our wide receiver room's deeper than folks are giving us credit for, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Without Ayuk, we are still a contender. Yes, we will have multiple guys that have to step up, but we are still a contender. Would it be nice to have Ayuk? Yes, it would. But with or without him, we're a contender, and that's how I feel about it. I honestly think, if you look at the betting odds, and this is something Steve-O knows a lot about, the Chiefs are actually on top right now. And we're number 2. And a lot of that could have to do with the fact that, Trent Williams is holding out and we haven't signed Ayuk. It might have to do with that. After we work that out, what will happen? Who knows, right? But, Jim. Now, I don't know if we can count on this, but it's just one of those. I'll wait for the 49ers to announce it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most reliable source you'll ever get when it comes to 49ers right there, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Oh, and this is it again. He said he was traded, so it's just like I said, I wouldn't believe any reports that don't come from the 49ers at this time, folks. It's just how it is. But, Tariq Owens, though, that's something I was talking about, right?
He was part of the rookie
camp.
hype machine today. He came over and he was getting the crowd all pumped up. He was throwing T-shirts to people in the crowd.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. But I heard he's not doing too bad out there.
I haven't seen much of him in the 2 days I was there, but it sounded like in between, like he got some stuff done. Did he get a TD yesterday or the day before? I think Raj reported something about it not too long ago. I can look it up.
And this is limited. This is just the beginning of camp. You never know what's going to happen over the course, right?
No, yeah. No, and like I'm not too worried about Brock Purdy throwing interceptions in camp because he threw a ton last year in camp. And he was rehabbing from his elbow. I think if you're going to throw interceptions, camp's the time to do it. As long as you're like pushing the envelope and, working on things that make you better during the regular season, that's all that matters. Camp really is. I mean, you don't want to see people making a lot of drops. So Raj said Ricky Pearsall was dialed in at camp. He had some good videos of him. But yeah, I learned my lesson with Brock last year about worrying too much about what he does in camp. And one thing I will notice, and I turned to Raj and was talking to him about today, was I was like, Purdy's getting a lot of reps compared to last year, because last year there was Purdy would get 4 or 5 reps, and then Darnold would get 3 or 4, and then Lance would get 3 or 4, and then even Brandon Allen would get 2 or 3. And now it seems like Purdy's getting like 7, 8. Maybe you might see a little Brandon Allen here or a little Josh Dobbs there, or even Mordecai occasionally coming in. But there's no like rotation. It's not like all 4 in every set. Not at all. It's really Purdy, and a little bit of someone else at the end.
Well, remember last year he was on a pitch count, right? Because he was rehabbing still.
He was on a
pitch count.
He was on a pitch count per practice, and then he was only practicing 2 out of 3 practices. Every third practice he was taking off. And I was thinking, Lance will get more reps during those practices, but he really didn't.
I'm not worried about all the interceptions he's throwing. Right now is the time to do that stuff. Push the envelope, see what you can pull off, right?
Yeah.
Now is the time to do it. And against our defense, I can't blame him. You got to push the envelope against that defense, and our defense is good. So, what is the iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it.
And right? Raj did report 0 interceptions for Purdy. That's what I thought. I thought there were some PBUs, but I didn't recall any interceptions, and he said the same thing. So glad to hear that I wasn't way off on that one. Let's see here. So you're saying the Ricky Pearsall connection is taking off. Ricky had a TD. That was the highlight of team period. Ronnie Bell, TD. Ronnie Bell having a solid camp today in team drills. Like I said, I think Ronnie Bell was my pick of the day. But that sounds like Ricky Pearsall was right up there with him. I only saw a couple of
last year, Ronnie Bell, he earned his spot on the 53 during preseason and camp. He had some mistakes here and there, but he was the primary target during the preseason games. He had a bunch of catches, a bunch of yards, and I expect him to compete to make that 53-man this year. If we sign Ayuk and Steve-O, we will definitely get to the offensive line. If we sign Ayuk, then it's like our top 3 are set. And then we got Ricky Pearsall. We don't know what's going to happen with the injury and Jacob Cowing, right? We don't know what's going to happen there yet. It's a hamstring. We don't know how severe. I haven't seen a report about that yet. And then, you got guys like Danny Gray, Ronnie Bell, Trent Taylor, which I don't know if we're actually going to keep him over a young guy that we control for years. That's a decision up to the 49ers, right?
Hell no. No, I mean, that's my opinion. Raj was kind of like, hey, he's buddies with Kittle, and we don't really have that little slot guy, since we lost Ray and stuff. I just can't imagine how Trent Williams. I can't imagine punt return is how Trent Taylor cracks this roster. That's why he was on the Bengals last year. But I think we're just too deep at wide receiver. I think there's just too many mouths to feed of guys that because Trent Taylor, you can stick him on the practice squad and no one's going to snap him off there,
Whereas, no one's going to pick him up. That's the thing. I mean, one of our young guys, you cut them, someone's going to pick them up.
That's what it comes down to.
You cut Trent Taylor, no one's going to pick him up. He's a guy you can stash on the practice squad.
Hell no. Yeah. So picking him up, that is not the practice squad. Yeah. No, I'm with you. What else is going on? Some good one-on-ones with O-line and D-line. Credit coach Isaiah. He was really focused on that. It was really nice. And I could focus on Kyle Shanahan throwing lots of incomplete passes. Because Kyle likes to play QB out there sometimes.
Was Kyle out there playing QB?
Yeah, he does almost every day. Yeah. And he's throwing to the coaches and coordinators and assistants and things like that against the real defense. So, as you can imagine, it's a pretty big disadvantage for Kyle. So he completed a pass and I was like, hey, Kyle completed a pass. I'm like, that's really unusual. He usually throws into triple coverage and it gets knocked away, and sure he threw it and the defender made a play on it. But Coach Isaiah was really focused on the O-line, D-line, one-on-ones. And sounded like Pooney did well. I saw Drake Nugent get blown up a bunch of times. I think Larry might have been onto Spencer Wagee 2.0 with Drake Nugent. He's just, there's the knocks on him. The reason he wasn't drafted is because he's short and has short arms. And shoot, he looked like that today. I don't think he made a stop the whole day, a block. I think he got blown up every time he was on the field. But, he's young. Maybe he'll turn it around later in camp. I could be wrong. But as of now, what I sort of thought coming in was I don't think he'll make the team as of now.
Oh, boy. Well, Pooney's still out there getting reps at right guard, right?
Yes.
How's he
because Spencer Burford broke his hand and
John Feliciano's dealing with a knee thing.
Yeah. So he's getting a lot of run and he's doing well. He's doing real well for a rookie. So who knows? Who knows what'll happen? I mean, I still think he'll end up being Feliciano. But maybe Pooney can do it sooner rather than later. We got Jason, Captain Niner Smash Massey in the house.
Yep. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, I think you could definitely do that. And speaking of special teams and Trent Taylor, there was a lot of special teams practice going on today, but not a punt return. It was of that new kind of hybrid kick return, because it's all a whole new kickoff return.
How's that actually looking? Because it's like our guys better be able to tackle.
Yeah, it looked interesting. I mean, anything new is interesting. And it's supposed to be safer. If it's safer and you can get some big plays, get some scoring out of it, and it's safer, seems like a win-win. I'll wait to see it live and in action before I really give it my blessing or endorsement. But if you can make it safer and more fun, or more exciting, I should say, sounds good to me. I mean, I'll sign off on it if that's really the case in the real season.
So you definitely know more about this question than I do because I'm not there. Who's a better QB, Shanahan or John Lynch?
I've never seen John Lynch throw a football, so.
Oh.
Yeah. So Shanahan's out there all the time leading, practice stuff. Also, before I forget, I was going to mention another standout from camp has been Cody Schrader. Has been really good. He's been, he led the SEC in rushing last year, and I don't know how he went undrafted, but It's just once
He
again
ran a
not
4.63 40.
a little bit slow.
Yeah, he didn't look great at the combine, but that don't mean you can't actually play football, right?
Just not Frank Gore. So I mean, not that he's Frank Gore, but it's just kind of funny because Garendo is injured with that hammy we were just talking about, and it's looking like once again the 49ers undrafted running back is better than their drafted running back. It's just like tale is old as Kyle Shanahan as a 49ers head coach. Like, I guess it's Bobby Taylor making those late picks. I'm not sure, but whoever it is doing a hell of a job.
Well, they waited till the 4th round this time. They didn't do it in the 3rd.
That's good. That's good.
But, they might want to wait till the 5th at this point. I mean,
yeah,
5th rounders always seem to do well. So,
right. Lenore, Hufanga, Kittle, Dre Greenlaw.
Yeah.
Some good ones.
There are. So, so at this point, it's still early in camp, but you see, Steve-O, you might have something here because, we don't know, Hufanga's coming back from his ACL. Hopefully he's able to play. He's going to be coming off. I believe he's going to be there for the joint practices as long as everything goes well. And, he comes back, and then the Niners are in a situation this next offseason because who are you going to extend? You got Aaron Banks along the offensive line. He's a free agent. You're going to have, Feliciano says this is last year, so, we don't got to worry about that. But then you got, along the defense, you have Javarius Ward, Lenore, who I heard they're working on a contract extension with.
Then they're not stalwarts, but the new guys, Yadam and Rock Yasin, are both on 1-year deals too, so they're expiring.
That's exactly it. We have four corners right now that aren't going to be that might not be on the roster next year, but if they're working on extending Lenore, then we know he will be.
Just another little guy, Dre Greenlaw.
Yes, that's bigger than he's a good linebacker. We're going to have to see how when he comes back from his Achilles and how all that works out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of linebackers, now that we're talking about that, what'd you see today? Linebackers wise, who's getting the linebacker 2 and 3 reps, and how do they look?
I know D Winters has been doing well in general. I saw Jalen Graham a little bit today. He made at least one good play, but I wasn't paying attention to the linebackers closely enough to have a really good opinion to try and be expert on this right now. I'm going more off just stuff I know and have heard than what I actually saw today, to be honest.
I've heard folks say that, Campbell's not looking too great. And D Winters is actually so far becoming the linebacker 2 at this point. And I'm also looking at it you remember when Lenore would play nickel and he would come up and run support, that dude would hit someone. We all remember that hit he made on Swift, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's almost like if our third linebacker ain't that good, why don't we just go nickel? Right?
I like that. Or 3 safeties,
Yeah.
There's another look that we could go, although I don't know who the 3 are. I mean, you got Jair Brown, you got hopefully Hufanga ready. I guess Mustafa's been playing really well in camp, so I guess we do. I mean, but I just don't know that Hufanga will be ready week 1. He still isn't really practicing yet. So that'll be TBD. I mean, I guess George Odom's been playing pretty well, but I don't trust that. I think we know what he is, and he's not a starter. I don't think. Even without Hufanga.
Yeah, he's our special teams ace. Mm-hmm. And special teams has changed, especially when it comes to the kickoff. So hopefully he's able to be that ace that we need, right?
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And then Renardo Green, though, I've heard nothing but good praises about the kid so far.
Yeah, he looked good. from what I've seen, but I didn't see a lot today of him. So. Steve-O.
Yes. Well, Greenlaw is Hufanga is an ACL. Greenlaw is an Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a good conversation to have, right? Coming back from an Achilles isn't that easy. I mean, Aaron Rodgers supposedly was going to be ready for the playoffs if the Jets made it, but who knows what kind of off treatment he took. He's kind of a strange fella now.
Well, and they also, then they're like, well, but he's not really ready for preseason. And then I understand there's a difference. Like a lot of teams just sit all their starters for preseason anyway. But I just thought it was interesting. He's ready for the playoffs, but he's not ready for preseason the next 7-8 months later. That's kind of odd. But hey, what are you going to do? It is a difference, and he was probably just going to gut it out and not be 100%. There you go. Jason says Rohan was saying that Winters and Graham are looking good. I saw Jalen Graham look good on one play. In D Winters, I didn't really see much from him, but I would trust Rohan. He was right there with us too. If I didn't mention his name, he came late, so it was like Jesse, Rowe, Coach, Raj, me, and John Chapman of the content creators up there. Which is pretty fun. It's funny because I was on somebody's show recently a week or two ago, and they're like, "What's your favorite part about being a content creator?" I'm like, honestly, it's like going to training camp and sitting in the upper row with all the content creators and getting to see guys that we normally only see each other like this on YouTube, getting to shake their hand and meet them, hang out and talk. And also it's really good to have a bunch of us together because for people who haven't been to training camp, it's not like a game, man. There's no replay, there's no PA, so like there's no refs, and so when something happens, it's very quick. There's not much time between the plays. And so it helps just to have people there like-minded to be like, hey, was that a drop? Who was it? Who was defending? Who was passing? Who was catching? Was it a drop? Oh, more of a bad pass, blah, 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 blah. All the stuff you kind of need to go over to kind of, figure out consensus on what exactly happened so that we can pass that information along correctly to people that aren't fortunate enough to be there.
Oh, yeah. And I really like D Winters. A lot of it has to do with the sideline to sideline speed. He actually ran a 4.49 40. For a linebacker, that's blazing speed, right?
Yeah, he's really fast.
So, and both these guys should have the red shirt off this next season. It's like I was kind of disappointed to not see D Winters or Jalen Graham come in during the Super Bowl when Greenlaw went out. I was disappointed to not see that, but we all know how Kyle feels about rookies. He only plays them out of necessity, right?
Yeah, no doubt. And we did get that. Speaking of rookies, we did get that rookie linebacker from SFU who did Florida State FSU, who
Bethune.
did play with Renardo Green Bethune. Yeah. So maybe we'll see if he does anything. I don't think I even saw him today though, so I don't know how much run he's getting. He could be getting the red shirt treatment himself, or just like they maybe are planning to put him on the practice squad. Who knows?
Maybe they are planning on putting him on the practice squad. If I remember right, that's what they did with, what was that guy? Curtis Robinson? Last year?
Yeah. I'm blanking.
He actually, I heard reports, this guy looks pretty good.
Yeah, there was a Curtis Robinson on the team last year for sure. Linebacker.
Yeah. And then he was on our practice squad, but at this point, did you see the tight end competition? I just saw the comment here.
I mean, the best catch I saw today was made by Kittle, so I think he's leading. But no, in all seriousness, I told you Latu, I don't think he made a catch all day in one-on-ones or team drills. P-Line had a catch. I think so did Logan Thomas. Who else are we talking about, really? I mean,
Braden Willis.
Braden Willis had one where he came up and he was like, he was so upset with himself because he dropped one. Or maybe it was partially defended and dropped. But I didn't see Braden Willis make any nice catches. I think it was mostly P-Line. Under the helmet pods saying is P-Line going to take Latu's spot. That's what it's looking like. I don't know. That'd be hard, though, because, P-Line is – or Pline. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce his name, unfortunately. But, he's undrafted. And Latu was a high third round compensatory pick. So glorified fourth rounder, essentially. So Latu's going to get a lot of chances, especially if he – last year in camp, my impression of Latu was good blocker and really good route runner. So if he can just somehow learn to hold on to some of these catches, I think the job is his, but I'm not seeing it so far. I heard, though, I didn't see it last Thursday because last Thursday they didn't even target him last Thursday when I was there. But it sounded like some of the practices in between, he is actually doing better from, people I trust reporting. So I hope he continues, but Spongy says it's Pliny. So like isn't that the IPA, Pliny the Elder? You're too young to be drinking, little sponge. I can't condone you drinking.
Yeah, he really is. You shouldn't be doing that. Your brain's still developing.
You should not be drinking those IPAs, brother.
Yeah, we got Wolf in the house. What's going on, buddy?
Dang, is that Wolf Azama?
Not Niner Gang Wolf. Yeah.
Damn, it's been a minute. Nice to see you, Wolfie.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing well, brother. Yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's hard at work. His life changes. Got him a new job. Schedule changed drastically, and he when he can come on, he will.
Awesome. I can't wait to see him.
Just got to, as Brian said, send up the bat signal.
He's always fun to talk to on here. So. Very knowledgeable and very entertaining. That's all you can ask for. So.
But yeah, I mean, the camp. I don't know. I don't think anything's really heating up yet. I can't wait for the joint practices. Who we got? Was it the Saints?
This is the Saints, but in a neutral. I was trying to think of the location. Is it Southern California? For the Saints? Something like that. Yeah, that sounds right. One of the surprises for me from camp, if I didn't mention it already, is Brandon Allen looking pretty good in year 2 in the system. He was, I thought, dog water last camp. Distant fourth in that QB competition, if it really even was a competition. But whatever. What I saw of him did not look good. He has been looking pretty good. I mean, to the point where we were kind of talking about it today, and we're like, we could see him beating out Josh Dobbs. If this continues, if it continues the way he has started, Brandon Allen might be our QB too, because Josh Dobbs hasn't looked that great. And Mordecai, it's interesting. I was talking to Roe about Mordecai because Roe was at University of Wisconsin last year and this year, and he does their he does content creation for them as well out there, as well as the Niners. This is Rohan Chakravarthi, and I was like, "What was your view on Tanner Mordecai?" Because a lot of people are like, "Oh, he could be Brock Purdy 2.0 and blah blah blah." And he's like, it's like I think he should have come out straight from SMU. He might have gotten drafted instead of going to Wisconsin and ended up undrafted. So, everybody that was there today was kind of sort of like probably practice squad for him too. We could see him. Dobbs would probably get picked up by someone else who's desperate, but he does not seem to be a fit for Kyle's system. Oh, got Justin.
Yeah, Jess is in the house was good. You know, they go live in a little bit over 20 minutes, about 21 minutes, folks. So we got to try to be off by then so we can all, you know, mosey on over and catch their show. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. And Jess is out here this week. She's going to camp on Saturday the 3rd, I believe. Sadly, I don't think I'm going. So remember, I told you weekends and evenings are daddy duties for me, and
that's right.
Pretty sure, unless I can score a ticket for my son and me to go, then I probably will miss Saturday, unfortunately. Those tickets were hard to get with the season ticket code, and they were hard to get in the public offering as well, too.
Yeah, we got David Corona in the house. What's up, buddy? He's coming up on it. So he should be in your prayers, folks. He's coming up on the point where he's about to have back surgery. So
that's right. Best of luck.
Uh-oh. She flies out Friday.
Booyah. Kenny, it's July. Yeah, it's July for like 7 more hours, Kenny. 7 and change. Out here.
It's almost August. July seems to be dragging on. I mean, Brian,
31 days. You told me.
I saw Brian say this. Why does it seem like July is lasting forever? He's like, July's dragging on. It's never going to end, you know, type of thing. It was like,
it's also like 100 degrees every day out there in Stockton, too. So
yeah. It's not bad. I don't think it's terrible right now where I'm at. It's about 90, but we got the smoke from the California fires kind of blocking the sun. So
that's so crazy. Did you guys hear what happened with one of those fires? The story about the Tahoe fire?
I haven't kept up on it today or yesterday though.
There was an arsonist. And there's an arsonist, and he was in jail, and he got released, and he took his car and lit it on fire and drove it into a ravine with the intention of starting the fire. That's the one near Tahoe, apparently.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so good times. I'm like, that should be a third strike, you're out type of situation.
Well, you know that there are those folks that get out and they just can't handle the outside world, so they do something to go back in.
Yeah,
he could be one of those folks, right? Myself, I love my freedom, so
yes,
I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize it.
That reminds me of a joke. What's the difference between Niner fans and Raider fans?
What's the difference?
Niner fans like the outside of a jail cell.
Truth. Sometimes the truth hurts. So
that's not. It's always funny if it's true. Sheesh. Sorry to any Raiders fans out there, but I don't think we have that many in our audience. So I don't
think we do. You know, Raiders fans. You know, the Rams are kind of the nomads of the NFL. The Raiders have technically moved as many times as them, but Oakland to LA, right, and then to Vegas.
Yeah.
The Rams, they went from Cleveland. Yes, they were in Cleveland to start with, to LA, and then they moved to St. Louis, right, and then back to LA. So they literally, the Raiders and the Rams are the nomads of the NFL. Bryant actually did a NFL team's car, a little clip on his channel, folks. If you haven't checked it out, a little video about folks that decorated their cars, NFL teams, and the Rams actually have a moving van in that video. It was hilarious. I was dying.
Nice. I love it. Hey, we were talking about weather there for a minute. The weather at camp was definitely nice. It was overcast when we got there, and it burned off, and it was like sunny and cool. It was like kind of perfect 70s sunny, cool at Levi's. It can get a little bit too hot there on camp days, and so it was nice that it was a little cooler today. Kind of my perfect day.
I remember last year I was there for the home opener, and shout out to Jess for, giving me a ticket, and I had to jam on out there, right? But And shout out to Bryant for letting me stay at his house and meet his family. That was a good time. But, and you know what, when I showed up at the stadium, I was in one of my, sleeveless shirts and shorts, and it's really wasn't bad. I mean, it did get a hair chilly as we were going, but I didn't notice because I was at my first NFL game. It's kind of, I just didn't notice. And then they let us down on the field, and it was good. It was a good time.
Nice. Now, the only time I've ever been really cold at a Niners game was, oddly enough, the Bucks game last year when I was in the gold mine with the 400 Faithful UK. And I wore shorts and a jersey and had short sleeves on. And it was windy and cool. And it wasn't a night game, but it was like a 4 p.m. game. And it wasn't even 4 p.m. Maybe it was just a 1 or 1:30 kickoff. But it was just windy and cool. And by the end, I was pretty cold. I drank 3 giant Pete's coffees. I got one of the refill cups and refilled it twice. And there were guys going and buying like bomber jackets and stuff. It was definitely because the gold mine, you were sitting there. There's no like structure behind it. So like when the wind's blowing, it's right in the breezeway between 2 giant structures. So the wind funnels through there. And there's no like wall behind it to wall you off to protect you from the wind. And so it was just exceptionally windy and cool. And that was one of the coolest games I ever went to, which is not even like night game, not even rain or anything. Because usually those other games you prepare for it. But, dumb me, I wore shorts and short sleeve shirts. So I didn't understand where the gold mine was anyway, exactly. I thought it was kind of down below behind the goalposts somehow. Dumb that I am. All these years ago, and I hadn't figured that out yet. So I learned the hard way.
Well, when I was there, I noticed the winds are kind of strange. Like they kind of swirl strange at that stadium. It's like, and then actually before the game, we saw old Jake Moody out there kicking, and the guy's like pounding I think it was a 53-yarder. Through the uprights. I was like, dang, like that guy can kick. This year, it's like, this is his second year. We're talking about the kicker. For a rookie, he did very good in the NFL. A lot of people, he missed that one, the Cleveland game winner. There's a lot of plays in that game that could have went our way. There's a lot of plays. It's not just that one that lost us the game. This is my overall view of games. Yes, there's a play that's highlighted and people can point at and say, hey, this is the one. No. Watch the game from start to finish. You will see many plays that could have went our way. We could have done better. That one play is not the reason we lost the whole game.
Many calls too in that game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and Brock Purdy, let's face it, Brock Purdy was dog water the whole game, other than like the first drive, and that was mostly CMC, and then that last drive that he set up the game-winning field goal. Most of the rest of the game, Brock Purdy was, I don't want to say awful, but he was pretty bad.
Yep. All right, Ted. Well, do you have any other observations from camp you want to talk about?
Nothing too earth-shaking. Just it's good energy. I'm excited for the season. I feel like I definitely want to get Trent Williams signed. I want to get Ayuk signed. I think they are important. Coach Isaiah was saying that he didn't see Leonard Floyd win any reps, which kind of surprised me. Bosa only had 1 rep, and he lost to Jalen Moore, which is surprising because Jalen Moore obviously is not a very good tackle. But ultimately, I don't read too much into camp. I try not to because it's a time to make mistakes. It's time to grow. And I think a lot of the vets know that, their job's safe, and really the main thing for them, biggest thing for them to do in camp is just not get injured. So I would like to see Bosa and Trent Williams square off because I think they both need each other to be at their best. You got to beat the best to be the best. And right now, there's no one for Bosa to beat who's the best on the offensive line. So I would like to see him have more reps with Trent Williams sooner rather than later.
Yes. Well, I mean, we've only been going for, 45-ish minutes, but I'm going to get me some dinner and watch me some East Coast Red and Gold podcasts,
Yeah, and we were late because of me, so I remember this is way past McNiner's normal time.
Like I said, time flies when you're having fun.
I'm usually pretty good about not if there's. It's usually something like what Kenny was saying. I got a flat tire. I'm in a ditch somewhere. Then yeah, fine. But distracted by the neighbor's electric go-kart, it wasn't me. It's my son. My son just loves those things, and so. I was like, you gotta take a rest, and I had him ready to go, and then there's that go-kart, and it just delayed us 15 minutes. And
hey, maybe that's something you can do. Go buy like a go-kart frame, put some wheels on it, and get one of those electric e-bike motors and make you an electric go-kart.
Yeah, I'm sure I could. Use some of my older parts and get something like that going. I'll have to check that out and see. They were saying you could use the drill batteries, the handheld Makita or whatever the popular drills are these days. And you could use those and you could wire them in serial. And instead of going like 3 or 4 miles an hour, you can get those things going 20. I was like, oh yeah, wow. That's in our future. I have my 4-year-old son drifting around the cul-de-sac. It's gonna be awesome. in a John Deere, it's a kind of tractor go-kart thingy. Should be fun. Yeah. Anyway, thanks again, David. I appreciate it. Sorry for being late, and I will see you next week.
Yep, next week. Hey, folks, and as we all know, as Corey Davis would say, go 49ers and F all 31 other teams. Y'all have a fantastic